Hey, what's up everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road out in Utah. We also have a location in South Carolina. I'm super excited to show off this all new 2023 Conqueror UEV-14. We've recently did a tour on one of these, but that was the older model year, 2022. This is an all new 2023, and there's been a lot of changes done to this unit behind me. We also, like I said, have a location in South Carolina, and we have one of these at the showroom there. So if you want to go and check these out in person, you can come to our Utah facility or to our South Carolina facility just outside of Greenville. Reach out to us at 801-860-0035. You can text us. But there's been a lot of improvements, mostly for the United States marketplace. They've updated the heating and cooling system. There's a bunch of little design changes. I'm really excited to get into it. So let's go for it. Okay, there has been a lot of details and a lot of different changes in the unit. Overall, the main specs, like I said, you can go and check out our other video, and I do go into some more detail, and we'll have a full tour soon. But overall specs on this, it's 243 inches long. It's 86 inches wide, complete width. The track, it tracks about 77 inches wide. So, you know, similar to your tow vehicle. The overall height, and that's from the tire on the ground all the way to the very tippy top of the vent dome on the roof. That is 93 inches or 97 inches. You say, what, or? Well, it's because it has an air ride suspension built by AIRBAG Man, sitting on a Firestone airbag with an independent bag and shock system. Really great system. AIRBAG Man makes pretty much most of the independent air ride suspension systems in all of Australia and Africa. And so it's sitting on this system, so it does actually, you can actually pump it up or lower it. And like I said, that's the difference in the variance of height. You have about 5 inches or so of travel in that airbag to go all the way up, extend it to the lowest. What's really neat about that too is it allows you to level from side to side when you get to your camp. You have no idea how nice that is. It's not, you don't have to drive up on blocks or do any of that. You just pull in, unhook, level side to side, and then with the front tongue jack, you level front to back, and then you put your jacks down, your stabilizers, and you're ready to camp. It's very, very easy. Now let's talk about the weights. The dry weight is 4,299 pounds. The GVWR, or fully loaded capacity, is 5,511 pounds. That means you can load it up with a total of 1,212 pounds. The tongue weight is 440 pounds. Coming over to the back, I want to talk about this departure angle. You're sitting at almost 24.5 degrees of departure. That's phenomenal. That's more than almost any truck on the market. The only thing it could compete with is a Jeep, really. You know, obviously, if you've lifted up your vehicle, stock for a trailer, that's pretty phenomenal. The water capacities, you have just under 53 gallons, 52.4 gallons of fresh water capacity in 2 different separate tanks. The actual toilet is a Thetford cassette toilet, and that has an additional 2.4 gallons, so a total of over 55 gallons of water. What's really cool about that toilet system is you can pull water from anywhere to fill up your toilet because it has its independent tank to flush. I really like that. It's because, you know, you can pull water from a stream to flush your toilet and utilize your toilet, and you're not going to be contaminating your actual water tanks. The trailer is balanced phenomenally. Like, I've towed a lot. I've towed hundreds of thousands of miles, and the Conqueror trailers in general are some of the best towing trailers I've personally ever towed. They are so well balanced, from the water tanks to the battery system. Everything is really well balanced. There's no AC units on the roof. It's all an undermounted bunk AC unit, and that allows for the towing. You don't have any things that are really heavy on the roof. Brings all the center, you know, the weight down towards the bottom or to the center, and just really well balanced. I've towed this thing going 80 to 90 miles per hour, which I absolutely do not recommend, but I have done it just because I wanted to see what it felt like. And that's phenomenal. Lots of trailers in this size, especially with only the 2 wheels on the ground. You don't feel comfortable over 65 or 70. These tow amazing. Okay, and over here, I wanna point this out. This is a positive air pressure system. You turn that on, and it has a fan in there with a filter. And what that does is if you're hitting off-road, it's inevitable that dust can sometimes intrude somewhere around the door or some cracks and nannies or cracks and crannies. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, whatever. This is gonna create pressure inside the cabin that blows the air out. So air can't actually come in because it's pushing the air out. Right here, this is really cool tray that drops down. We are parked on a weird slope, so this is a little bit higher than normal. This is normally down closer to my belly. And right here you have some storage. This comes with all of your hoses for your air compressor. As I mentioned, Airbag Man is the person that's designed the air suspension, but there's an air tank and there's actually a port where you can plug this in and you can fill up your tires. You can fill up your whatever. I mean, you have a boat or something. These latches too, I really like these is because these actually suck in when you shut them, and it just creates a better seal. So you shut this up, and lots of little details that they've added, like the trim around this door is different than the previous model. All the badging, the color is really refined. It's honestly, it's just way prettier overall. The door is new. This is the AUSSIE Traveler, and this is like one of the best off-road doors ever because it actually has these 3 points where you can actually open, and it engages in 3 different areas. So when you are off-road and camber, the door doesn't pop open, which actually happens quite a bit on campers. This also separates, and you have an aluminum metal screen door. It's much cooler in here. We're actually running the AC right now. It's like 100, I think, and 3 degrees here today. Very, very hot. They've completely redesigned this front area, the whole kitchen. The old kitchen was a little bit higher, so you almost needed a little step stool if you're too short. Like I said, I'm kind of planted on a weird area. Plus we have the airbags in the max height. So when you get to camp, you can lower this quite a bit, but this is actually a lot lower than it used to be. Check this out first. You have these slide out, all aluminum trays with fully extension tracks. And then this is the kitchen, and the whole kitchen has had a redesign, and it's much, much nicer. This is gonna come out like this, and you grab this guy, and it pulls out. And this, just like on the other one, has the sink out here, and then this lifts up and locks in, and you have hot and cold. The sink is really cool. I have it right here, and this pops down like this, and you come right here and it just sits in nicely. And I actually love this. There is a drain hole right here that you can pull out and let it drop down, or you can lift it up and throw it. Hot, cold water. You got this 2-burner Dometic stove. You have a large BTU and the smaller one right there. Like all Conquerors, which I love about this is they have these nice ports where everything slides in, comes with silverware even, plates, cups, everything. Really, really cool and just ready to go. Anyway, here is the Snowmaster Traveler series. This is a dual zone, so you can adjust these. These Snowmasters are also from South Africa, and I think these are probably one of the best refrigerators on the market. I personally own one of these. I own a Dometic and one of these. And I just think the Snowmaster performs very, very well. I love all the stainless steel, and it's all matching. Everything on these Snowmasters just feels really nice and premium. It's all metal. The hinges in the back are also metal. Dual zone, like I said, this is an 80-liter refrigerator or freezer or both refrigerator. It's a dual zone system, which means you can set either side to be a fridge or a freezer. I pull it out and use it for parties. You know, we just had a birthday party for my daughter, and we had it all working. You know, you can make popsicles, do popsicles, icing sandwiches, or waters and drinks. This also has a 76-liter upright fridge on the inside. Really, like, more than enough refrigerator / freezer space in this camper, more than you'll probably need for a long adventure. We've also added more lights on the exterior all the way around. Like I said, the 2023 Lots of improvements, lots of additions. One of the things that I want to mention on this slide out kitchen, all the water system, the electrical, it's all plumbed in. So when you pull it out, it's literally a press of a button to turn on the pump, and it's pressurized, and you're rolling with hot and cold water and all your electrical stuff. You don't have to actually be connecting or disconnecting. The one thing you do have to connect in is your propane line, which is right here. So you do hook up your propane for your stovetop. That's what that's for. This is for your air. So if you want to blow up an inner tube, a boat, your tires, you know, air down your tires, you can use that. And that does have a tank right here, as you can see. And this is your compressor. And this is your controls for your air system. And this is your left or right, you know, so you can up and down to level out the trailer. Lots of little touches done. And this is also very nice, large storage area. On the other side, you have more access to it. All of this is much thicker metal than previously, and they've added all of these nice little design touches, the UEV-14, and then you also have these mounting points right here, just like what you see in the 440 or the 490, where you can mount goods or whatever, soft goods or bins up here. You have your tank up here. This is the 2 20-pounders that you can utilize for your propane system, and previously the furnace and the AC were purely 120 volt. This also has a 120 volt for your heater and your air conditioning, but they've also added the TRUMA combi unit, which now works your hot water and your furnace completely off grid via your propane. But let's walk around and talk a little bit about this tongue. Here we are sitting on the D35 Cruise Master. This is the fully articulating 360 degrees left, right, in every direction. This is so important. If you don't actually have a hitch that pivots, I don't think you can consider the trailer off-road trailer. This drives me crazy once, you know, Indiana in the US is like saying, this is an off-road trailer because we put big tires on it. And it's like, okay, and? Well, it's got big tires, right? Or we flip the axle. It's on a solid axle with leaf springs, but we put the leaf springs on top of the axle instead of underneath it, and that makes it off-road. No, that is not true. You have to have a better suspension, more robust. You need articulating hitches, because when you're off-roading and you're cambering, your truck's going to the left, your trailer's going to the right or whatever, you know, you want that. You don't want all the stress on the trailer or on the ball. You want it to be able to move and pivot. Also, the suspension being independent with the airbags and the shocks, with your limiting chains. You know, you're not going to overextend, but you're also going to get that nice, smooth, you know, independent suspension effect, which is off-roading with washboards. It's much better, much more superior. You have these super heavy duty chains that you can actually mount and use for recovery. I love this wheel. This is like a patent wheel that actually is made by Conqueror, and it completely gets out of your way. And this guy goes onto here and you can mount it. And you have so many different points of mounting on this system. You just unscrew this and you slide this in and tighten it up, and you can put it low or high or wherever you're at, because when you're off-roading, you never know the terrain you're gonna be on. And so you need that flexibility. And then this just tightens up and goes in all the way. You go like that, you know, and you can adjust it and it tightens up. And you have nothing to hit here. You can see on the whole frame, this is always the weakest point of any frame on any type of camper. And you can see they've bolted this. They've added extra pieces of metal here just for the stress points. This is one of my favorite features. This is your annoying neighbor tool. It's an axe, in case you're one. I'm just kidding. No, this is for cutting firewood, not for your annoying neighbor. I do not support that comment that I just made. This does go down here and you can actually lock it so nobody can steal it. This is the other side of that storage compartment. The air system is back here, but this is a huge space right here. And then of course it comes with a bunch of goodies. That's the cover to protect your hitch when you're not using it. And then you have a DC to DC wiring system in here, and your tool for your jacks, which I would recommend using a drill. And it's the easiest way to put your stabilizer jacks down. Coming over here, One of the things that I really like about the redesign for this year's model is they've been a lot smarter about the storage. Of course, the kitchen comes in to about right here, and you can put some bins in here. The previous one, it slid all the way through, and you just couldn't really utilize a lot of this space back here. Also, they've added just drawers on everything. And this is a huge storage compartment. These are like, this is the bedding. It comes with this bedding. And we just threw those in so you could see kind of the amount of space. But yeah, look at that. All the way in, and you still have space. Lots and lots of storage, and also points where you can strap things down, right? So you're not just like letting stuff fly all over the place, and everything locks in. Everything is lockable on the whole trailer. Heavy duty, high-end latches. Those are not cheap latches. So many trailers out on the market use those cheap ones. Right here we have the cassette toilet, and this has the separate tank, so you fill it up right here. And I love how it's just actually, this opens up, and so if you did, like I mentioned earlier, went to a stream, you could fill up a bottle or a gallon, you know, like a jug, and you can just pour it in right here and fill up your water tank to about 2.5 gallons, 2.4 gallons. So you go to the stream and grab 2 gallons of water, pour it in there, you're done. Or you got jerry cans. Obviously we have jerry can holders, and you can use them for fuel, or you can get the ones that are for water. And it really extends your stay. What I love about these cassette toilets is they give you the capability, you know, where you just pull this out, relatively new in the US, but when you're talking Europe and Australia, you know, you can fill this thing up in a couple days. It depends on, you know, number one or number two. If you're way off grid, I usually just do number one outside more often, and then this will last me a few days with my family. And you get to where, and what's really cool is I go out to the forest, national forest area, and there's always some pit toilet nearby, and you can just go, you can open this up, dump it. It's really quite easy, actually. And then you just close this back up. This right here is just the little funnel. If you want to use it, you put it in there. You don't really need it. It's just people sometimes think they need it because the water's not, it's a P-trap system. So lockable, this is the most important thing to lock up, because you don't want people stealing your crap, right? That's pretty important. Definitely want to lock that up. What's also really cool about this, and I've had a lot of people, I haven't done this personally, but I've heard of a lot of people, OFFROAD is a pretty reputable brand worldwide. I think they're a European company. I got to double check that info if I recall correctly. But you can order that cassette like online as a secondary backup, and some people will carry a backup one like in the truck, the bed of the truck. So if they do fill up and they're not in an area where they can get easily access to a pit toilet or a dump station, they'll be able to have a secondary one. I've always been able to find a place to dump them within a reasonable distance. This is the driver's side of the camper. There's a light up there, and it's actually important because I find myself hooking up sometimes late at night, whether it's off grid, whether I'm actually pulling into a camper and I want to be plugged in so I can run my air conditioning, you know, or whatever. There's always a reason to use this light at night, especially when I'm just unpacking or unhooking. I want to be able to walk around the trailer. And right here you have your power right here. This is a 50 amp power connection. You have your fresh and city water connections and your fill ports. You also have an outside shower, and this is your TRUMA combi exhaust system right here. These are exhausts to your inside refrigerator. And and then also I want to mention the tires, all aluminum alloy, 16-inch trim, and the tires are 285, 75, 16. You have the aluminum studs, not the rubber ones, and we're sitting on a 12-inch electric drum brake. Plenty for a trailer of this size, 4,300 pounds. But let's go back to the other side and then head on in. Okay, before going inside, I do want to mention something about the paint on this trailer, because Conqueror is pretty proud of their paint. This is a 3H high hardness, and what that means, I just as a note, I am not like some paint authority or, you know, got a lot of knowledge on it, but my understanding, most American made cars use a 2 H high hardness. Typically, if you're going to be getting into 3, you're looking at like BMWs or Toyotas, Lexuses. You know, if you get up into that 4 or 5 H high hardness, you're talking like Lamborghinis and Bugattis and all those like $1 million, you know, $100,000, $1 million cars. So really good quality paint. And the 3H high hardness is just pretty much like the scratch resistance. It's kind of a rating. You know, if you're a paint authority, you can make some comments below to add some more detail in it. But just wanted to mention that it is high quality paint, and it is not put on a fiberglass. You know, it's put on to the aluminum. Most campers you're dealing with an FRP, which is not even a real fiberglass. It's a fiberglass infused plastic, and they don't even paint it. And that's why it gets super chalky and it's just cheesy and cheap. This is all aluminum inside and outside. The studs inside are rectangular hollow stud, welded aluminum with the skin of the aluminum, and everything is riveted. Let's get headed inside. I'm really excited to show this off to you because the new inside is almost completely different. The outside, there has been some refreshes and some changes. The front of the trailer is completely different, the whole box and the cargo, but they've actually added a couple inches on the overall width of this trailer, and the whole inside is completely different. I'm super excited for you to see it. Let's go on inside now. This trailer is completely different. The inside is completely different. This table is almost twice the size as the previous table. I don't know if you recall watching. Maybe we'll throw in some footage from the other trailer so you can get a good comparison. It's different material. It got this aluminum edge banding, and this is all throughout the trailer. They've added aluminum banding around every single cupboard, cabinet. All of these cabinets up here are completely new. These weren't even in the other trailer. The wood, it is a solid wood that they use for the cabinet. I mean, these are all aluminum. Most of this stuff is aluminum, but the actual cabinet where, you know, the fridge is, where some of the storage is, they actually use real wood faces, but they've used the aluminum banding, which is really, it just has a very nice premium feel. All of these cabinets this is all aluminum. Really nice high-end premium. These stay up. All the drawers on the cabinets throughout are all locking, metal hardware and locking. Very, very, very beautiful. Brand new floor, the coloring, everything about this trailer feels like it just got a full refresh. Like the beds, okay? I mentioned the dimensions of the trailer overall have increased a few inches. Not a ton, but that few little inches has changed the feel of it drastically, from making this booth area much larger. This area back here is just over 6 feet from wall to wall, and you could almost leave this in a bed position and lay somebody here without messing with the table. You might be like, yeah, but that's the main bed. It is, but guess what? The bed up front, they've almost made it twice the size. So this trailer now officially will sleep 4 adults. I mean, if you wanted to squeeze 3 kids here, you could say it sleeps 5 people now. But the front area, it's about 49 inches wide by 85 inches long. Before, it was a single person bed. Like, there was no way you could get more than 1 adult up there. Now you could easily put 2 kids up there, even potentially 2 adults up there. Back here, it's not exact dimensions of a true residential king size bed, but it's pretty close. A true king size is about 80 inches long, and this one is roughly 78 inches long, so 2 inches short of a true king. And the dimensions from side to side, from here, you're measuring about a true king, 75 inches. And here you're measuring about 72 inches because it kind of bevels in here. Everything has been like improved and changed. We now have AC ducts up here on the bed area. You have AC ducts down in the floor. Previously there was 3 ducts total, and now we're sitting at 5 ducts total, and these ones come right on you and blow on you at night, which is really, really nice. We have USB chargers all around the bed, ports where you can be charging your cell phones. Here you also have chargers over by the other bed. Everything has just been enhanced, improved. As you walked into the entry door before, there was all of the componentry right in your face, and that actually took away from some of the storage in there. They've moved it all up to here above the fridge, which is up higher. It's right within your vision, so you can see it all and work with it better. You still have your fridge right here. You lost one cabinet, but you gained more cabinetry down there and a much bigger, better cabinet. All of this cabinetry up here is new. There's cabinetry on the front bed area that's new, that wasn't here before. This thing just fits so much better when this drops down. It's really easy to make a bed. Let me show you really quick. This, you just press this button and the whole thing just drops. Obviously my legs are in the way, so I can't do it right now, but this just drops right down, gets into the right position, and then there's a cushion that you just throw on this and the bed's made. That easy. It's really that easy. This bed is like, it takes less than 30 seconds to actually make this into the bed, but there's so much more versatility now with the bigger bed up front and this area being a little bit larger. What's really cool about this pop out too, that you don't see in like a standard trailer this long, is going to feel a lot smaller. Because of this pop out, it makes this trailer feel a lot larger, and that king size is a really big deal. All of this area has been carpeted, so that's going to add a little bit more insulation. Before it was aluminum throughout, and it's just that it conducts more hot and cold into it. So just lots and lots of touches. I don't know, the bathroom is completely redesigned. I'll get over there in just a second. Let's talk a little bit about the height in here. We're sitting at just about 6'10" from floor to ceiling. They have a new vent dome up here. They have a new light in here. The lighting is fantastic throughout. Obviously you're about 6'9" with the vent dome, but that's where you're sitting most of the time, so you're never going to hit your head on that. If you're 6'9", you will never hit your head on anything in here. So just for those tall people out there, it's a great trailer. I'll show you the shower too and the bathroom area. The previous bathroom didn't even have a sink. This one has a sink, toilet, shower, and the design is just way, way, way better. You know, it's just, it flows. Okay, moving over here. I love this pantry because you can utilize it from inside or outside. At nighttime, if you don't want to go outside, you can have that door shut. Obviously we're open right now, but you know, you can put your food and you can grab your little midnight snack or whatever you need to do. And you have this access inside or outside, which is really cool. And you can reach down and get more storage if all your food is in here. Over here we have some nice shelves where you can put some books, you know, or whatever miscellaneous stuff you want on the inside. And just close it up at night and you're fine. You also have more storage up here, and there's a shelf up here so you can utilize this. And I love how they've carried this lighting throughout, so you actually have it lit up in here. Really well thought out. I think I said in the previous video, you know, you could probably put 3 adults around this table comfortably, maybe 4. Like, you for sure can put 4 adults at this table. I mean, I am not a small adult. I'm 6 foot, 235 pounds, and dropping. Always dropping. Mostly muscle though, just so you know. But like, look, I could put somebody right here and easily 2 more people on the one here. Possibly we could squish more people, but this entire area, it has become a lot more comfortable and just overall more usable for more people in this camper. Very, very nice. We have a reading light over here. You got your switches over here that turn off some of your main lights. So if you're laying in bed at night, the ideal way of sleeping in this is having your head up here if you're going to turn this into the king size bed, and having your feet down here because you have reading lights up here and switches. And then once again, you have your USB plugs right here, and you have a little shelf right here so you could throw your cell phones on there and plug them in and charge them at night right there. And those are all wired directly into the batteries. So you don't have to run an inverter through this because it's 12 volt. It's a 12 volt system, which is really cool. But I'm gonna walk over here and talk a little bit about the components we have. Okay, moving over to the fridge and box area over here. As you can see, this is the new wood that they've chosen. It's really, I think it's very elegant, very beautiful. I love the modern feel to it. It's funny is because the Conquerors do look very rugged on the outside, perfect for the guys, but the inside of this camper is beautiful. It's elegant, and I think the ladies will love it. This is a his and her trailer, right? You get the both of best worlds. You know, the ladies that, my wife wants to have a comfortable bed. She wants to have heat. She wants to have an indoor fridge. She wants to have a bathroom and a toilet and a shower. Guys are like, well, I can live in a cave, right? They want something manly and, you know, rugged looking. The outside is like, this is like one of the coolest looking campers on the market. The inside, beautiful. Beautiful. I love the switches over here because right at your bed you can turn this one on, and it does the main light above the door area. This other switch turns on the side lights throughout. As you can see, these side lights right there. And then you also have a reading light down here for nighttime. I like to read at night, so I have that little reading light. The windows on these are the Eurovision dual pane polycarbonate windows. These are the most popular windows. You're going to see these windows in Brooders and Zones and Kedrons. Our new Roamers have these windows, the new Explorers. I love these windows. They open up nicely where you can get a lot of fresh air coming. You hear that click and it stops right there. You want to go up again, stop right there. This is kind of like industry standard for high-end quality campers. You know, they're all using these windows. And when you open up both sides like this, you feel the breeze just coming through. And also you have these nighttime shades. I love these ones because the back side is reflective. So it reflects the sun, keeps it a little bit cooler inside. And you can use these screens. And these are very fine screens. So you're not going to get any little bugs coming through these screens because they're very, very fine. The TV right here, check this out. It's mounted. It has a strap to hold it in place while you're in transit. People are like, of course, what are you talking about? No, lots of trailers actually don't do that. It's silly. It's silly. We've had trailers in the past where it's like the TV's flipping all over the place. A lot of people, what they do actually when they're driving is they take the TV off the mount and they set it on the bed so it doesn't so it's not bouncing all over the place. Really cool, heavy duty mount too. And you can, you know, if you're over in that bed, you can put it over there. If you're sitting at the table, everybody's sitting at the table, you can put it right here and everybody can watch it. Some people don't like TVs while they're camping, but on those rainy, cold nights or days, it's nice to have it. And you can strap it in and it stays nice and tight there. Behind the TV here, we have our solar charge controller, and this is a Renogy system, Adventure. On top of the roof, we have Renogy solar panels. It's 3 100-watt solar panels. The previous model did not have solar on the roof. You only had the briefcase. This one still has the briefcase option, but they're now mounted up there permanently on the roof. So that's really nice. You don't have to worry about setting it out. If it's in storage at the side of your house, you're always going to be getting a charge to the batteries, which is really great. Stock, it has 3 100 amp hour AGM batteries. We can upgrade those to lithium very easily. That's something here at ROA we do. We upgrade the campers. We could upgrade the solar charge controller. Lots of people love Victron, right? One of the things that I really like about this system is it's all matching components, right? Solar charge controller is Renogy. The inverter, 2000 watt continuous pure sine inverter with a 3000 surge, that is also Renogy. The solar panels, the wiring, it's all Renogy. From our experiences, when you're matching components, everything all across the board, the systems just work better, they function better, they communicate better, they're more efficient. We could upgrade to lithium batteries, Victron, solar charge controllers, but the systems in here are working really well. They've done a really good job with all their wiring, their fusing, everything looks clean and the way it's supposed to be. Undermounted HB1000 right here is the control system. This is The previous Conqueror only had this. It did not have an off-grid furnace. Now we can add those in, and we have been adding those in for people, but previously you only got heat if you were plugged into shore power. Now we have this system, which is the HB9000. This is an air conditioning unit and a furnace, but this is going to work off the grid. You're gonna have to be plugged in, have a generator to operate the air conditioning or this heater, electrical heater. But you also now have the TRUMA, which in my opinion, this is best in class. The TRUMA, phenomenal product. All the higher end products are putting this in. This is the TRUMA Combi Eco, and this has a different stages of heat, and this is all a propane system. So this is your water heater and your forced air furnace. Love this system. We have a bunch of videos on how to. You can set these with certain timers. So if you know, like you take a shower every, in the morning at 8 a.m., you can set this to automatically turn on and get your water hot. It takes about 20 minutes for it to heat up. So you just have it turn on automatically at 7:30. When you wake up, you get in and you shower at 8 and you got hot water. And it's just it's like an eco efficiency. You can leave it on all the time, so it's always kicking on and keeping your water hot, or you can have it set to turn on and off at certain times. Really like this TRUMA setup. Over here, we have the Conqueror control panel with your switches. Everything's labeled, water pumps, lights, fridges. You also have your panel right here that tells you your battery percentage, your water percentage. It tells you whether you're getting incoming power from your solar or from your tow vehicle. So really nice here. We have a stereo system that is Bluetooth. We had this hooked up earlier. And right here we have our fuse box. These little guys screw off here, and you can access your fuse panel if you have any issues with your 12-volt system. One thing that I want to point out here, and you don't see this in a lot of trailers, these right here are screws. So you can grab a little wrench and you can unscrew these and pull this whole panel out. If you ever have to access the back side of this, same with this, look on each corner. This is really important because there's always going to be service things in the future that you need to access behind these panels to work on something or to check on something. And when you don't have a way to access these things on the inside, it becomes just a huge task. You end up sometimes ruining stuff, right? Because you have to rip the cabinets apart to get to stuff. People don't realize that this is a real reality. When you're buying a cheap trailer, they don't think about these things. When you're buying a brand that's been around for 30 years, that's a premium product, these are the little attention to details. When you're servicing your trailer, they make it serviceable, really, is what it is. This is the fridge. Very nice fridge. And you have two fridges. You can turn this on and off and just operate the one outside, or you can have both of them on. I honestly really liked the previous Conqueror. I picked up the very first ever prototype in the US, and I thought it was beautiful. This thing is like way improved. I mean, the flooring, it looks like I'm on a $1 million yacht deck. I mean, it's not real wood, but it has that feel. This right here, I mean, everything, this is all molded fiberglass. The whole bathroom's been redesigned. Previously it was right here. They've angled this, and it actually has more space. The whole trailer feels very open the way they've redesigned it and added a few inches to it. Over here we have a really nice counter space. Previously the TV was here. It was kind of awkward. We had a bunch of componentry in here, and the door was here, but it eliminated a lot of the storage. Now we have all these locking latches. Over here, these drawers, the face of this is actually a wood. Once again, has that aluminum. And then the actual drawers themselves are all aluminum. This is all actual metal and screwed together on the tracks. So it just, you're never gonna be dealing with wood, rot, warping on these tracks and trays. They're also very light. That's the reason why this trailer, for the size of the trailer, it's pretty light overall. And then look at this, all nice soft close with locking latches. These are metal. Feels very nice. Lots of good storage in this area now. Previously there honestly was not a ton of storage. They've added a lot of space. Over here, For the bed, you know, depending on who's sleeping over here, they have their own little wardrobe here. And these ones come out pretty far. These are pretty deep. All aluminum, all metal, right? I love this new wood look that they've done. It's just, it looks super premium. There's those plugs. We got your fire extinguisher there. We got some storage over here and all your switches for outside. And lots of outlets. You have an outlet over by the bed. You have a 120 outlets over here. You also have more USB plugs over by the door here. A little bit of storage underneath the fridge. Little pockets right here for stuff that you need. Little clips. Right here we got our keys. Got some space above this whole entire area. But now I want to walk into the bathroom and show you the improvement, because it's a huge improvement. This is a very, very, very nice bathroom. Much improved from the previous bathroom. Like I mentioned, we now have a sink. We have storage underneath the sink for your toilet solutions, toilet paper. This is all molded fiberglass throughout. You got this mold, you got this mold, this mold. This is a wet bath, but it's really nice. My wife loves these because, you know, when you're showering, you know, the kids can be down low, throw this up high, but you know, you can clean the toilet off really easily and quickly. It's just, this is a very nice shower. I mean, we're talking about an extreme off-road adventure vehicle, right? And you have a full bathroom in here. For you ladies, you know, you got a little step thing right there if you want to shave, or you can even use this, right? You can sit down while you shower to shower yourself off. Previously, the water heater was a on-demand, which I'm not a huge fan for off-grid usage, because it only turns on the hot water when you're actually asking for a certain amount of pressure. You have to have almost 50% of your water pressure turned on, and once it engages, then the hot water turns on, but you end up wasting a lot of water. This has the TRUMA actually has a small little tank, and it's super efficient, so you can get this to the hot water to right here, and you can just turn it on and off, and just get that nice warm water on you, lather down. You know, it's all about water consumption, right? You want to preserve your water when you're off grid. We do have almost 55 gallons of water for a trailer this size. That's amazing. The previous toilet, cassette toilet, didn't have a separate water tank. It was actually plumbed into the main tank. This one has a separate, so that even gives you more ability to be off grid. I'm really happy with this bathroom overall. This has its own independent pump, water system. Now soap test. Everybody wants to know, can you drop a bar of soap? Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. If I drop a bar of soap, yes, I can bend over, I can grab it. I mean, almost at any direction in here. This is a very, very spacious bathroom. It's really amazing, those few inches here and there, and the redesign of this, how they've been able to make the back bed bigger, the front bed bigger, and the entire bathroom bigger. It's just the design, the flow of it is so much better all the way around. Really, really, really happy with this bathroom. If you have any questions about any details that you want to know about, you can reach out to us at 801-860-0035 or go to ROAOffroad.com. There's a few of these units now in the US at some various different sites. Like I said, over in South Carolina, we have a facility, an experience center, and out here in Utah. And you can come and take a look at them. There's a few other dealers that do have them as show units, but they can't actually sell them until next year. Only ROA Off-Road actually has access to them for you to actually purchase them. But there are a few places you can look at them. I just want to end with saying, like, this, look at this place that we're at. This is the reason why you buy an off-road camper. You know, it is because you can get to places that regular campers cannot go. And also, like, what are you waiting for? Like, life is too short. We work so hard, especially us Americans, right? It's just always working, and like, get out and enjoy this country. Like, this is one of the most beautiful, I've been all around the world. I've been to almost every continent, and America is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. There's a lot of beautiful countries, but like, we have so much land and places you can go and roam and not even have another person around you. With an off-grid, off-road trailer, you have just so much more access to places that nobody else has. And look at this. This is amazing. We've been out here and there's been like one other vehicle or two that have driven by all day, all morning. You know, it is such a beautiful place to be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you have any questions, any comments, please make them below. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with a friend, and hopefully we'll be able to have you come look at one of these, purchase one of these, and become part of our community, the roamer community, because we're not just about selling campers, we're about creating an experience for people. You know, we do adventures, we do rallies. For the life of your ownership of this camper, we're here to support you, take care of you, and just give you experiences that nobody else does, because that's what owning a camper is all about. It's an experience. It should never be just this transactional thing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.